Hey guys, what's up? Uh yeah, I'm making a YouTube video. Ironically, it's about why I haven't been making YouTube videos. So, this is kind of out of nowhere. I was just taking a shower, my hair's still kind of wet, and I was just thinking about some stuff. And I figured, I'd been talking about making like videos like this for a while. If anyone's been paying attention, I'd mentioned it a few times, especially recently, because there were some things that I had, opinions about. But I figured I may as well start it off with something easy. So yeah, I was just thinking about this a little bit, and I figured, heck, why the hell not? Let's just make a video before I go to bed tonight. Really low effort, just sit in front of a webcam and talk, and that's actually important. I'll get back to that. So yeah, why haven't I been making YouTube content? So, in like 2015 and kind of the early parts of 2016, I spent like quite some amount of time just making, sort all kinds of different videos. I mean, for a while I was putting a lot of effort into creating videos for the Sunshine Guide, which, those videos were decently low effort in terms of the actual video part. They drove me insane sometimes because actually getting a good recording of a strat, especially when you're not used to doing it in runs, is quite annoying. But yeah, so that was a thing, and then later on I was doing some more high effort stuff, having like the voiced guides and uh I don't know, there may have been a few other things, but yeah, I was making YouTube content. And I mean, if we go way back, of course, before I was even doing the whole speedrunning thing, I actually did YouTube for a while, and I was doing like Let's Plays and stuff. I was kind of a typical gaming channel. And I had the viewership that came along with that. But yeah, like the past year and a half, I basically haven't been doing shit here on YouTube. Um, so yeah, what's the reason for that? I think the easiest kind of thing for me to hook onto here is a video that I recently watched by the Rixer, or Ricky, as most people call him, who is also a speedrunner. He runs a lot of different stuff. He recently released a video called Standards, and I'm gonna link it in the description. If you haven't watched it, I really suggest you check it out. It's a pretty interesting video. It gained quite some traction on Twitter, so you may have seen it pop up. If you haven't watched it, I advise you to check it out. A lot of the stuff. Okay, so in that video, he talks kind of at length about the different challenges that he experiences as a content creator and a Twitch streamer and a speedrunner, and a lot of what it boils down to, there's a hair on my face, what the fuck. A lot of what it boils down to is that he has high standards of himself, and that ultimately makes it hard to actually, put out content. And that's something that, although, his exact explanation and stuff, they weren't like one-to-one with my situation per se, but that whole concept of kind of being held back by your own high standards, that's something that hits really close to home for me. And that's one of the main reasons why I kind of haven't been doing the YouTube thing. So when it came to like the Sunshine Guide videos, for example, especially when I was attempting to make like, an all-encompassing beginner's guide for any percent, which, I made part one of that, and I got like halfway into the second video, but I never ended up finishing it. And the reason, similarly to what Ricky explains in his video, is because of my own standards, and not even not being able to live up to them, but kind of trying to do too much. Like, my standards for creating those videos were so high that ultimately it made the process of creating them so long and frankly annoying. Like, I did not enjoy working on those videos, so that kind of made me not want to continue making them, which is why I kind of had to make this decision for this video to just kind of jump in, because this is like as low effort as it gets. But I figured, just get my thoughts out there. Maybe I can refine the format as we go, but I'm kind of veering off here from what I was talking about. So yeah, standards, that's a big thing. And then, another thing is that, like, I don't know how to, I haven't really thought too much about what I was going to say in this video, but that's like the main thing, honestly, the whole standards thing. And then, yeah, like, okay, so take this for example. It's just a video of me talking, right? But there, like I said earlier, I had been thinking about doing stuff like this before, but I didn't end up doing it, and the reason is because I was overthinking it. I was like, oh yeah, and I'm gonna write a script, and I'll write down all this stuff that I want to talk about, and every time I did that, it just, it started to become like this overwhelming thing, and it's like, oh, this is so much work to just make a video where I talk about how I feel about something. So that can be a really hard mindset to break away from. It's like, it's good, in my opinion, to always have, like, to be ambitious. I think that's a good thing, and that's one of the reasons why speedrunning is something that I enjoy, is because it allows me to kind of channel ambition towards something, right? It's like about self-improvement. You're taking this one thing, this video game that you're playing, and trying to get as good as you can. So that's a good thing, but it can really spoil stuff for you as well. And that's something that I've struggled with. And then I'm pretty sure that I had some other stuff, but it's already slipped away. Oh boy. Hmm. That's actually, I guess this is worth talking about. So another reason why, for stuff like this specifically, something that I struggle with, and it tends to manifest itself more strongly whenever it has to do with writing stuff down. So like someone tweets something like their hot take on Twitter, and I'll disagree with it, right? Just like some random thing. I'll be like, hell nah. So I hit the reply button and I start typing my reply, and then eventually I just kind of go like, nah, what's the point? And then I delete the whole thing and I don't end up replying. That kind of applies to, doing something like this as well. It's like you're putting your thoughts out there, one way or another, and I kind of struggle with that. Is just like to kind of get over myself, because I'm not the most confident guy. Like I'll come out and say that, and something that I've said before, despite, you know, however I may come across here on the internet. I'm not the most confident guy, so I tend to doubt myself a lot, and especially when it comes to this, and it's like, you know, are they really waiting to read my opinion on the internet? You know, do people care? Like, is this even worth putting out there? And you see a lot of people who have kind of the opposite of that problem, and that actually annoys me. So, you know, you can kind of understand why it's something that I do think about a lot, because I do think that there are certain things that you just probably shouldn't say, or, you know, some situations where people don't need to hear what you're thinking. But I think I tend to overthink stuff too much, and then I end up not putting something out there that perhaps would have you know, added to the discussion, or something that people would have liked to hear. And that kind of thing is hard to gauge, honestly, because, you know, the way it tends to be, especially on the internet, people tend to be biased towards negativity. So people are more likely to reply to your message, or to, you know, let you know what they think if their thoughts are negative. So if they disagree with you, or if they dislike something that you're doing. And this applies to pretty much everything, and that's something that I can probably talk about for hours, and how it applies to, you know, the various activities that I do on Twitch, and, you know, the speedrunning community as a whole. And I probably will, if I keep this whole thing up, this whole shebang. But yeah, it can be hard to kind of pull yourself away from that. And I think some of you might be a little bit surprised to hear that coming from me, because, you know, in my stream, I always am pretty I take the haters in stride, you know, like I don't let them really get to me. I wouldn't be streaming anymore if I did, because there's been quite a few of them. But I don't know, it's kind of different when you're just sitting there and doing your thing, and then a hater shows up, you know, compared to when you kind of consciously decide to put something out there, you know, like without it being spontaneous, and then someone shows up and, you know, okay, I say hater, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a hater, just like someone shows up who disagrees, or who says like, nah, that sucks, or whatever. It's yeah, it's different, and that can be hard to for me, that can be hard to reconcile. So yeah, I guess that's another thing, honestly. Can I think of something else? I probably could if I actually put some thought into this, but then this video probably wouldn't have gotten made. So yeah, I guess for the sake of not letting this get too long, I'll just leave it at that. You know, just some of my thoughts. Yeah, I do wanna do more videos like this, because I realize I haven't been very prolific in my online presence recently. I haven't been doing many streams, which I feel bad about. I do, but, you know, shit happens. It's not the first time that I've had a slump, but yeah, so kind of, you know, think of this as me trying something new and getting some different content out there. And yeah, let me guys know your thoughts on my thoughts, and I don't know, like, yell at me, tell me if I should make another video talking about something else, or if you absolutely hated this video and I should never do it again. You can tell me that too, despite all the things that we just talked about, because it doesn't matter. I already made the video. Can't take that away from me. Yeah, sounds like a plan. All right. Yeah. That's gonna be it. So good talk. Have a nice day, guys, and I'll see you all when I see you.